Welcome to my Kings Norton, Birmingham to Warwick Canal walk. It says 20 and a half miles. I hope that's right. You know how these signs can be. That's the first point. It'll take me down onto the main canal. Rained heavily last night and yesterday, so the first couple of miles are going to be really messy. Got me manked up shoes on. It's not going to do this in wellies. New batteries for the radio, a couple of tinnies for the walk, and today's food is a bag of chili peanuts and some unidentified meat stick that I found in the shop. Should be interesting. Leaving it a bit late. Still got about 6 hours of daylight, which should be okay. But I don't mind walking the last mile, 3 miles, whatever, in the dark, because it's good canal on the way into Warwick. This is the route down to Redditch, which I've walked umpteen times. But this canal route down to Warwick this is the second time I've walked it only. It's a little bit messy on the way, but it's a damn good walk. Weather today, it's not meant to rain. It's about 7 degrees, something like that, which is perfect walking weather. So we'll see how quick I can do this one. First snag of the day, right from the off. That little bit of towpath off the junction is closed. We're doing the towpaths, which is nice. I've got to take a huge detour just to get back onto the canal. Luckily and nicely, they provided a map, which I've taken a photo of so I don't get lost. So that bridge up there is where I get off, and I've got to cut down that way through loads of houses and join the canal probably about half a mile if I don't get lost, and then it could be much longer. Okay, back on the canal after an uninspiring walk through a part of Birmingham I've never been to. Didn't lose any time though, because the road route I just had to take sort of cuts out a big circle that the canal does at that point. So I'm not going to count that as a loss. Fortunately, it started spitting with rain, so either somebody at the weather office isn't doing their job properly, or I was looking at the wrong day. We shall see. We'll get the radio out in a minute, get some walking music on. Still got about 20 miles into Warwick. It's my second trip down there this week. First one was down the A road, which is highly amusing. Luckily there's path most of the way, but the bits of verge I did have to walk on were hard going. As you can see, canal's pretty much as I expected it. Muddy as hell. Oh well, can always buy new boots. About an hour into the walk, started hitting the nice long stretches that I do remember on this section of canal. But apart from that, it's been that long since I've walked it, I can't really remember, so it should be nice to actually get on a walk that I don't do every 2-3 weeks. I haven't really seen anybody. I think I've seen one person in the last hour, but it is a weekday, so it'll be quiet until all the workers come down here on their bikes. But hopefully I'll be in Warwick by then. Mudfest. There's a bit of oil mixed in there as well. Oh man, the state of that. It's going to be a mucky day. Finally found a radio station that doesn't suck too bad. My chili peanut breakfast has gone down a treat. I'm moving out of Birmingham. I mean, these long stretches between the cities and towns is the bit of the canal I love most, man. There's nobody about. It's quiet, apart from my radio. And the long stretches are absolutely amazing. Luckily, the towpath here isn't too bad, but they don't pay much attention to it between the cities, so it can get really mucky, even in the summer. But I've been lucky for the last, mile? I think I'm just coming out of Shirley, which means it's now ready for the long haul down to Warwick. I'm half considering carrying on to Stratford, but most of that's going to have to be done in the dark. See how long it takes me to get to Warwick first. Sounds like a plan though. 2.5 hours in, and according to the signpost on the canal, I've only done 7 miles, which is probably about right. I was messing around initially. Got a nice pace on now though. So, 13 miles left to go. Weather's holding out. I've just passed Lady Wharf. Massive amount of boats there. I'm out of breath because I've just had to deal with 1 or 2 hills, which doesn't happen very often on the canal, but thankfully it doesn't bode well for the summer mountain climbing, does it? This is the halfway spot between Kings Norton and Warwick. I'm about 3.5 hours, which isn't bad considering I've been swimming through sludge for nearly all the way. But thankfully, this is where the locks start as they run down to the Grand Union Canal, I think. So I know that the path's going to get better from this point on, which will make it easier on me because my legs are absolutely burning. I mean, just walking through this mud is I think this is probably the hardest canal walk I've ever done, and I tell you, I won't be doing it again. So 10 miles to go, 10 miles in. I'm not going to beat my the 20 miles I've done down the A road the other day, because it's just taken too long to battle with the path. But hey, it's good. I'm enjoying myself. Day out, plenty of exercise. What more could you want? Probably less mud. I am properly mudded up. I'll deal with that later. I mean, nobody cares when you're on the train, do they? At least I get a seat to myself. The beginning of the locks down into the junction for the Grand Union Canal, which means I'm going to have an easier walk. But it's still going to be quite late by the time I get into Warwick, so I think Stratford's out of the question. Definitely. But it's all good. Weather's nice. Haven't broke a sweat yet, even though I was slipping through all the mud. I'm running out of supplies though, so I need to shop at some point. It's so hard to find unless you know exactly where they are. Apparently that's where I am now, Lapworth. Unless I spot one, or I grab somebody who knows where one is, then I'm probably just going to have to suffer. I've got enough water though. It's just the other beverage I'm running out of. Just over 2 hours of usable daylight left, and I've actually hit a path. So I was right about that, even though it's been that long since I walked down here. I'd also noticed some new waterside apartments that have been built. I mean, that just goes to show how long it's been. And it must be a good 5-6 years since I walked this route. But look at this path. The odd puddle. But actually I don't have to slip and slide all over it. Excellent. These locks are really grouped really close together because this is a steep hill down. I'm not interested in the locks, I'm just interested in this nice path. So I can churn up the miles now. Probably about another 9. I don't think Stratford's, well, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to do Stratford, which is probably about another 15. But I'm pushing for time now. You can see the series of locks that bring the canal down off this hill. And there's some more further down as well. I was wondering why I was the only one walking this canal today. Because the towpath's a bloody mess, that's why. Anybody else has got the sense not to do it. But I'm here now, I'm on the good bit. So, forward into Warwick. See what the junction's like for the Union Canal. See what the distance is like to Stratford. Maybe go to Stratford. Maybe stay in Stratford. Could get a B&B maybe. I don't know if I want to get the train home from there. Takes too long. Finally hit the Grand Union Canal. Off that mucky Stratford Canal. I was talking to a guy at the junction there. So I was curious about whether it'd be possible to walk into Stratford. And it's like another 15 miles. But I'd do it if it was like this. I mean, this isn't too bad, but I couldn't handle another 15 miles of that mucky towpath. That'd be the end of me. Even for everything I've done, I think that would be the end of me. So I'm probably about another 7 miles outside Warwick. It shouldn't take me too long. Hopefully I'll get there before dark. But I do know that the last mile or so, or 2 miles into Warwick, is really nice wide towpath. So the possibility of me slipping into the canal is minimal. But it's been done before, so it might happen again. I hope not, because I'll bugger everything I've got on me up. It'll get wet, and then I'll be annoyed, and this walk will cost me an absolute fortune. But we shall see. Just over 5.5 hours non-stop walking now, and I don't seem to be any closer to the part of the canal that runs into Warwick. By my estimates, I should only have a few miles. I don't think that this route is just 20 miles. I think it's more. I think that's why we struggled the first time we did it a few years ago, because we worked out the times and the time the sun was going down and how long it would take us, and we still got screwed. Path isn't too bad at the moment, but it's narrow. There's a bit of light cloud cover, so probably 45 minutes of daylight left. I'd rather not be walking on this when it gets dark, because I bought no torch, which is not like me, but I didn't think I thought I'd be well done by then. So yeah, it's turned into a bit of an adventure, I will admit. I'm warm, got water, got food. Run out of beer though, most disturbing. Don't come along these very often on the canal networks. If you can't walk through the tunnel, they usually make you walk up and over. But there are a few places where it's actually a separate tunnel for foot traffic. This is 400 meters straight up as well. Doing a bit of lighting in, yeah. brother's dead. Oh no, not steps. I hate steps. Ooh, I see buses. Could be civilization. Yay! Just spoke to a guy who says I'm about 3.5 miles outside of Warwick if I carry on the canal. I mean, he had a proper barber jacket on and wellies and stuff, man. All it was missing was the sheepdog and the shotgun. So if this guy doesn't know what he's on about, then nobody does. And I've resupplied, found a shop, so I'm well happy. So hour and 20 minutes I should be in Warwick. Lovely. So I've been walking for a while now, just past the sinuses. There's still 3 miles into Warwick. I don't know what it looks like on this camera, but it's getting dark. But thankfully the towpath is really nice here, widened up and quite a way away from the canal. No mud, so I'm cool. But this is not 20 miles, no way. It's definitely more than 20 miles. I've been walking for 7 hours now, and even taking into account the soup of the first 10 miles, it still doesn't work out. So, and I can, my body tells me it's not 20 miles, it's more than that. But I'm almost there. Yep, if you can't see anything through the camera, it's because it's bloody dark. Actually, I can see more than this camera does, which is quite nice. Still about a mile and a half out of Warwick. Houses are building up around me, so I know I'm coming into the centre. Still tabbing though. I mean, I haven't laid up my pace at all. So I think by the time I get to the train station, it's going to be about an 8-hour walk, which is good. But I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. I ain't leaving the house tomorrow. I'm just going to sit there and play games all day and edit this video. Definitely. Those lights you can see over there are Warwick Parkway, which is still a mile out of Warwick, but it's a train station all the same. This is where we bugged out last time because my walking partner couldn't do any more. I don't blame her, because this walk is weird and it's well longer than it should be. But if I go over there and get a train, then I would let myself down, especially after all the crap I've been waddling through today. So I'll make my way into Warwick. If it takes me all night, I will get there. Finally made it to the train station at about 7 hours 40 minutes from Kings Norton, which is crazy. It's a long walk and a long day. I'll be the most happy guy to sit down on this train. Unfortunately, I've got to go into Snow Hill, and then I've got to walk across a little bit of Birmingham, to actually get to my train back to Redditch, and that's going to kill me. Especially after being sat down for like half an hour. But it's all good.